This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chums. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on, you foxes!
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Good morning, fellow Fox fans. How are we feeling today? Back to league action. And bear with me, I'm having a few technical problems. I hope that's not a show of things to come today, that things are going to go wrong. Team's been announced. What do you think about it? It's an interesting one. This is Leicester Till I Die TV. It's the pre-match show. You can catch us live now on YouTube at Leicester Till I Die TV. Please give us a subscribe if you're on there. Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group, of course, and Twitter, Periscope, at Leicester TID. Let us know your thoughts. And like I say, if you are watching on the old YouTube, or even if you're not, give us a subscribe. We need your help with that. Please subscribe and never miss a show. Team's been announced. Let's bring my colleague Pete in, who's also seen the team, and he can tell us what he thinks about it. Good evening, Pete. Gosh, it's a good evening. That's force of habit. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. It's looking like a fairly strong team, in my opinion. Obviously, we had some Europa League the other day, which didn't go too well. But there's a few people who started in that game who are starting in this one. So hopefully they're not too tired as well. With another game on, is it Tuesday as well? I think it is. Yes.
Wednesday, I think we've got.
Oh, is it Wednesday?
Yeah, it's Wednesday. I mean, obviously, he is trying to manage the team, but let's have a look at the team. If I can just bring it up here. You think he's changed formation as well, which is a bit of a surprise because, you know, we've been playing so well with the formation we had.
Yeah, it is looking like two banks of four with Kelechi and Jamie up top as well. But I'm thinking he's done that just for a bit more support on Vardy because he's not getting as many goals this year, like in 2021, as probably what would have been expected. Obviously, he's had the operation and everything, but people are starting to notice that now. So maybe Brendan is as well. Yeah.
I mean, you know, looking at, like you say, you know, we've got Costa, slight tweak to it. Although sometimes during the games, he does sort of change the formation a little bit and drops into this. But the two sort of sides of the pitch, let's first of all look at Thomas and Barnes. To be honest with you, in that last game against Villa, they were looking an amazing double act.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with Thomas as well. Like, I feel every now and again he has some really good games, and sometimes he's not always on top of it. Like, I don't think he was on Thursday. I was quite critical of him when watching that, but I feel like they could be a good threat today.
I think the thing is, you could say that about any of the Leicester players from Thursday, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could, to be honest.
Yeah. Lifestyle, they say Leicester will never win the Premier League again. Hey, they used to say we'd never win it in the first place. So you
5,000
never.
to 1.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give up. It'll be harder, but never give up. And Craig, good morning, Craig. How the devil are you? Nice to see that you're actually up before the noon deadline. Nice to see Brendan was listening to my team selection for a change. Brendan always watches our show, Craig, and listens to what you say. You are the Messiah. I've told you that. But yeah. And then on the left, again, Castagna and Ricardo. I think it could be the death knell for under. I'm going to be honest with you here.
I think that is as well.
Yes. I mean, like I say, it's very hard to be critical of one player from Thursday because, let's be honest with you, they were all so awful.
Yeah, they were.
But, it was his big chance. And, you can't expect 10 players to play badly and one to play well necessarily. But, again, that right-hand side, Castagna and Ricardo against Villa, although I say slightly different formation, but it did look positive.
Attacking-wise, definitely, because they're both very forward-thinking. Then, obviously, they can both go back and defend as well, because they've both played more as right wing-backs in the last 2 seasons for us and everything. But like you said, I feel like it does show a bit of a negative message to Under. So maybe his time is up here. I'm not sure if we'll follow through with that in the summer.
I wanted it to work because I thought when he came on at the start, he looked really good. But I think he's been hampered, as I've said many, many times, by the resurgence of Albrighton this season. But I think players we've been linked with, I think he will go and somebody else, which we will still need, will come in that position. Up front, you say we've got 2. I'm not sure about a 4-4-2, to be honest with you, because I think he's more worried about Arsenal than maybe concentrating on our team selection. Mm-hmm. When we signed Inacho all those years ago, which it seems like now, I was so excited. I thought him and Vardy, together up front, running at the defences, would absolutely scare shitless, 99% of the defences in the Premier League. As a double act, though, up front, it's never really kicked off, has it?
No, and part of me also wants to question whether Iheanacho will just sit slightly deeper, like behind Vardy, almost as if he's like a number 10 maybe, just because Maddison isn't playing as well, so... I
mean, Craig, and you saw his comment there earlier, he actually did pick Iheanacho for that role. And I know, again, it's hard to be critical, but it's kind of what we're here for. But, who have we got? You've got Maddison, obviously, is injured. Pratt, who would be the obvious choice for that role, is also out.
Perez is out as well.
Perez is out as well, like you say. So, Iheanacho... he can hold the ball up. He can play, other players in. When he's on his game, he's got some nice touches, and fingers crossed for it.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes think that it was quite good business from Man City, as much as it pains me to say that, because obviously they did that buyback clause. Is it about 50 million or something?
Yes.
But I think they just inserted that into the contract just because they knew that they'd never act on it, because they knew what type of player he was.
The problem, I think, is, and I used to work with a Man City fan, and she was like, didn't want to see him go at all. She was sort of really upset. And I thought we were getting a good player. The problem is, even I could play in that Man City side and get goals. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not far off my wheelchair. But it's got to be, something's got to happen. I mean, Vardy, I'm worried about Vardy this season. I did the Arsenal show last night, and they were saying about Vardy, it is maybe slowly catching up on him. He's come back quite quick from an operation, which for youngsters is easier than it is, and he's no youngster now. Mm-hmm. Maybe his we are coming to the twilight of his career, where we will see him more as an impact sub, coming on for the last 15 minutes when their defence is tired, and maybe it's Inacho or another striker, should we sign him, possibly Ivan Toomey, for them to shine and come through.
Yeah, I've seen the links with Tony as well from Brentford, and he's been on fire this season.
Yes,
and I remember, because I live in Northampton, and I remember when he played for Northampton as well. So like, he is a good player, and I can see him coming over here, and I feel like he would be a good signing, and like he'd have Vardy to learn from, and I feel like it'd be a good journey, if that makes sense. And I do think that next season is probably Vardy's like last main season for us.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he used to play for Leicester, didn't he? We had him in the academy, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I heard that, yeah.
Yeah. But having said that, you know, other teams better than us have let players go, and they've regretted it, and that they've come back. But yes, I think we do definitely need somebody, and I don't think any team can survive with just two strikers. I don't think it necessarily means it's the end of Inacho if we bring somebody in. You know, I think you need at least three strikers.
Yeah, it's all about options, to be honest, as well, especially if we're going to be aiming consistently to be in Europe, like whether it's Champions League or whatever. Like, obviously, hopefully next season we are going to be in the Champions League, because like now we have less fixtures. That's the only positive you can take from like us being kicked out of the Europa League now, is that we can solely focus on it.
Yeah.
But then like one point which I want to make about that is we can't beat Slavia Prague in Europa League. What are we hoping to do in the Champions League next season? That's my only question.
I think it's I know where you're coming from, and I think we underestimated. I think we know, as not just Leicester fans, but as British fans, I think we can underestimate some of these league teams. I mean, it's the same pretty much with England. You know, through the sort of 90s, late 80s, other national teams were catching us up, and you know, we were still expected to go to the likes of Luxembourg, and even in them days, Belgium and teams like that, and beat them 4-5-0. They were catching us up, and I think, you know, we look at sometimes these European leagues, and, and I did. Oh, it's only the Czech league, great, Slavia Prague, what a great draw for us. And they're better perhaps than we are giving them credit for. You know, they did what they had to do. Up until that point, though, in fairness, we looked good in Europe.
Yeah, we did, and obviously it was a shame, because I think we were one of the favourites to win it, to be honest. Like, we could have gone all the way. And I'm not just saying that out of like bias or anything, because obviously being a Leicester fan, but I genuinely think we could have won that. Yeah,
we could have done, but like you say, it is what it is. We are out. Let's look at the positives. Less games. All our main rivals round us, perhaps apart from West Ham, are still in Europe, and though have still got those games and extra games to play. And you know, it helped us in 2015-16, I believe. You know, not having European games to worry about. But the bench today, I mean, you know, Albrighton's on the bench. Chowdhury's back down to the bench. Albrighton under
Tavares.
There's some big names, but you've also got, like you say, Tavares. He didn't really do much when he came on, but the poor guy didn't really have a chance, did he? You know,
no. I remember watching him in pre-season in some of the friendlies, because that's when Brendan likes to bring up a few of the academy players. And I think he was quite class. And there's been links as well. Barcelona have been interested in him.
Yeah,
it's like he is a good player, and I feel like he might come on today at some point.
There's a big a big pre-season for Leicester next year, because we've got a lot of people they're talking contracts with. Maddison, I'm trying to think, somebody else was being linked with a new contract. Indeed, is it? And like
Tielemans, Barnes.
Tielemans, that's it. Tielemans, yeah. And these youngsters, Tavares, he's got to decide whether he is going to let him go. And if he doesn't offer him a bigger contract, I think the guy might decide to up and leave, you know. But,
yeah, exactly.
But
because he'll be wanting, in his career, he'll be wanting to move forward.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. Looking at like you said, you know, and we just said, did we take Slavia Prague lightly? Are we in danger of doing the same with Arsenal? I mean, last week, from when I did the first show, they were 10th. By the time I did the second show, I had to redo the table because it actually dropped down to 11th.
Yeah, so Arsenal are a bit of a strange team this season. Like, obviously, they're meant to be up there as like one of the so-called big six, and they're sat there in 11th. Looking at their team today, they've got Aubameyang on the bench, they've got Saka on the bench. So they've got quite a strong bench, but maybe not so starting 11. But I don't think we should underestimate them at all. But we're at home, and the last few seasons we've done quite well against Arsenal at home, especially last season.
You know what? You could almost have read the script today, because talking of recent form, and let me just bring this in. Used to be our bogey side. We played them 29 times in the Premier League. They've actually beaten us 16. But apart from the League Cup, which I don't think any of us were disappointed when we went out, we've not lost it. Well, we've lost 1 in 5 against them.
Yeah, and obviously it helps. I feel like we've understood like how they play and everything. Just understand them, because I feel like Arsenal are quite they do the same thing each season, and maybe that's why like they're not doing so well this season, because other teams are starting to understand them as well. So I'm thinking we'll win today. Just got to be confident out there.
We're going to invite in now. Let's just bring him in, Luca, who is a Arsenal fan. Hello, Luca.
Hello. How are
Hello.
you?
I did this is Pete, Luca, Pete. We did the show last night. Tell us about your team. I've yet to actually see your team this morning. We're having to set everything up.
I just thought the lineup. With the lineup, I'm not happy with the lineup. I just thought, why is Mohamed El Neni starting? Like, I don't understand that, because Partey didn't obviously start the game the other day. Saka's understandable. He needed a rest anyway. Aubameyang, obviously, confidence, obviously, he scored 3 goals, but it feels like it's a Carling Cup side. And I've seen people put on Twitter, like I said, starting, Willian starting, and you can't just start a player who's got his first assist since the start of the season against Fulham, and you're starting a player like Willian, who he just came on and just got an assist, and yes, he obviously created the vital goal to get an equaliser against Benfica, but you can't just bring him on, and Arteta can't just look at it thinking, okay, he's done well, but you can't just start him against a very good Leicester side. This is Benfica. Benfica is different compared to Leicester, and it's quite a strange lineup, and El Neni starting the game is like, Leicester, okay, we've missed our opportunity of getting a decent result, and like at least a point against Leicester. And Leicester are going to have the likes of Ndidi and all them, like midfield Tindemans, and still got enough quality, and they're going to bully El Neni and Granit Xhaka, and that's what kind of concerns me a little bit, Chris.
Do you think, Luca, that no disrespect to you, but we said last night you're not going to get relegated. You're probably not going to get top 4 this season. Is it a case of, are you still in the FA Cup?
No, we're at the FA Cup.
You're at the FA Cup. So basically, the only thing you've got to play for in real terms is the Europa League.
Yeah.
And I know we joke like we're not in the Europa League anymore. Let's concentrate on the Premier League. Football fans have been saying that for a few hundred years. But is Arteta putting all his eggs in the Europa League basket, so to speak?
He is. Well, I think he is, because I think Mikel Arteta is obviously priorising Europa League just because you can tell the way he actually put the team out. And I understand, obviously, yes, top 4's over, top 6 is over, like I said last night, but it's a game where you kind of feel you want to build a little bit of confidence. I know we've got nothing to play for in the Premier League, but it just feels like putting a weak team out is a bit risky. And why is he getting players like Martinelli and all them lot? And he hasn't played Martinelli, and since he's ever started, he made like 5 starts or something like that, and he scored like 7 goals, and I just don't understand that. So, but I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird decisions with Arteta, and this is an opportunity where you look at it thinking, right, Party needs some minutes, and you can't just start Willian just because he had a decent performance when he came on, and I think the Europa League is obviously what he's going to prioritise on, because that's the only way to our route of Champions League football. Like, what we like 11, 12, 13 points off top four, and there's about 12 games to go, and like can't really see us winning all our games because we've got the likes of Burnley, Tottenham, West Ham, Liverpool coming up.
Well, thanks for joining us, Luca. I'd wish you well, but we wouldn't mean it, would we, Pete?
No.
But after the end of the season, and I always, to be honest with you, I'm one of those that I always want English teams to do well in Europe, if we're not in it for whatever reason. So good luck in the Europa League, and hope you do well in that, mate. Thanks for coming on. Might see you post game as well.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
Cheers. Thanks for coming. Pete, an Arsenal fan, not sounding very confident there.
Yeah, and to be honest, I can't really blame him with that, because Willian, he's had quite an underwhelming season this year. Like, I know quite a few Arsenal fans just been really critical of him. Like, the minute he's came on off the bench, and I've seen like them posting about it on social media and everything, they're just not happy. Their confidence just goes the minute they see him. Because he had that strong game in his first game, and then ever since then, he's just kind of not really done what Arteta wanted him to do, really. So I can see why he's not confident.
I mean, is this for Leicester a must-win game?
Yeah, I think so. I think every game should be a must-win, to be honest. And I said this when you had me on for the Liverpool one as well. We should just
and you got that totally right. I can't wait for your prediction today. Nobody else would have gone for 3-1. You did, mate, and you nailed it. Have you got the lottery numbers for tonight, by the way?
I wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is a must-win game just because we need as many points. Like, I don't know what's happening in the title race right now. Like, I do like to say Leicester will win it, but I've got to be realistic as well. Man City are so many points ahead.
Yeah.
But like, part of me will always just be saying that like Leicester could still win it. Like, I've got that little bit of confidence and belief and everything. But like, just getting top four, that's the main thing. And I feel like every other Leicester fan will be over the moon with getting Champions League again, especially if we can be in a stadium for that next season as well.
I think we've got to look at each season being a progress. We were fifth last season. To me, if we were to finish in the top six this season, even sixth and out of Europe, I would be happy. If we finished 12th or 13th, which God willing doesn't look like we would do, if we were to finish that far down, then that would be a disappointing season. I think for me, winning it is a little bit beyond us now. But although with that said, it's one of those seasons, anything can happen, anybody can beat anybody, etc. But is it more about, for me, I've got to be honest with you, I want to win. I predicted a win. I think we will win. But for me, it's about the performance. I want to see the performance that we put on against Chelsea. I want to see the performance we put on against Aston Villa. I don't want to see a Slavia Prague, a Wolves, a Brighton, a 75 minutes against Liverpool performance. I want to see us go out. And I that's what worries me with him changing the formation. About, be interesting to see how the players take to that.
Yeah.
But it is, to me, and I don't know if you agree or not, I want to see a performance today.
I do, and I also want a clean sheet, just because it'll help with goal difference and it'll also help with confidence. Because I saw someone made a comment the other day that they think Schmeichel's being a bit of a liability, and then I stuck up for Schmeichel on that post, just because he's not. He's a Leicester legend. He's been here for he has been here for 10 years. And he's one of our best players in the squad. So I want to see him get another clean sheet today. It'll do him good.
I don't think I agree with you 120% there. I don't think Schmeichel will make mistakes. Any goalkeeper will. Look at Pickford. He's the England goalkeeper. And he was being dropped by his manager for a few games. And then he's come back and he's made some brilliant saves. goalkeepers stick out. What gets me is Vardy's not scored for 7 or 8 games when he's played, but nobody criticises that. Schmeichel doesn't keep a few clean sheets, but you've got to have a look. He may let a goal in, and let's say we lose 1-0 and Schmeichel makes the mistake and costs us the goal. We probably in that same game would have lost 3 or 4-0, had it not been for some fantastic saves that we know he can make.
Yeah, exactly. And what you've always got to think about is that for them to be getting a shot away, the players outfield are making the mistakes in front of goal. Yeah. It's like for defence and midfield, for them to get into a position to be able to shoot. So you can't necessarily always just blame the keeper.
No. Well, I must admit, I am logging on to Bet365. Other betting sites are available in advance of Pete's score prediction here, and I'm going to have a tenner on whatever he goes for. Here's what, not including myself in the experts quote, but the experts as in ex-players. Steve Walsh, Ian Marshall has gone for 2-1. Steve Lynix has gone for 1-1, but I think he's playing the game of he never gets it right. So if he doesn't predict a win, we win. And I must admit, I've gone for agreed with Ian and Steve and gone 2-1 as well. And the fact that I'm ahead in the prediction league, I'll just drop that in there just for your information, for FYI. What are you going to go for, Pete?
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win.
A 2-0 win. I am putting a tenner on that as we speak. Mate, it's been great to have you on as always. Thanks for coming on. Welcome along to the Leicester Till I Die team. We're going to be seeing more of you hopefully over the rest of the season.
Yep, definitely.
Brilliant. And it's been great to have you on. Enjoy the game. Let's hope we're looking at the 3 points at the end of it.
Yeah, hopefully. You too.
Cheers, mate. Take care now.
You too. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot to Pete there. And 2-0. Hey, put your money on him. He got the 3-1 right against Liverpool. And that was a bold decision. And he got it spot on. We are going to be back in about 10 minutes' time. We're going to be doing a live watch-along with me and Josh. So I'm just going to go off now. I'm going to finish and wrap up this show. Catch us in 10 minutes for the watch along, and of course don't forget to catch us post-match with Julian Watts hopefully and our very own Jesus Christ in Brad. I can't think this morning. 1-0 to Leicester, Ray. Hey, as long as it's 3 points, mate, I'd take it. Guys, all the best. Thanks for watching, and see you 10 minutes time. Bye-bye.
Hello,
stay safe.
Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.